Good morning, family. We're going to be exploring personal affirmations. Okay, so when you affirm something, you refresh it. You um, put another stake in how it's important, right? You know, so with personal affirmations, it's important if you're trying to elevate your status as a spiritual being, which of course all of us have potential to be. The problem is the physical grounds us in these ideas that we have to do certain behaviors, through certain lingos, through certain phases. We have to live up to our ego, and our ego is reinforced through our choices. All right, so you know what I'm saying? If you grew up in North Carolina and you think that you're supposed to eat pork chops because you're a Carolina nigga, um, you may have a hard time, later in life affirming that that shit is not good for you. And just because you're from Raleigh or Durham or Charlotte or Greensboro or Wilmington, or, that's just the North Carolina state, even other southern states where people say that their diet is part of who they are and their ancestors ate it and so they're going to eat it and that's just part of who they are. You know what I'm saying? How can you affirm that? You know what I mean? It's so making positive affirmations to yourself, it starts with eliminating things that are keeping you from being all you can be. So let me give you an example. Let's say somebody in their childhood, and this has happened to many, many people. Let's say a traumatic event happens. It could be somebody may saw somebody get shot. Somebody may have a family member who, implanted a certain, terrible cycle in their mind. Somebody could have been sexually taken advantage of, whatever the case may be. And let's say that person never heals from that properly. Okay, they find a outlet through like substance abuse, let's just say weed, okay? And a lot of people nowadays are onto weed as if, well, everybody who smokes weed is spiritual and everybody who smokes weed is on this higher frequency. And I think, and it took my queen to tell me this, I think that it's just the opposite. I think marijuana, which has been here for thousands of years, yes, symbolically it's a spiritual gateway, but the use of it and the frequency that many, many, many structures have brought to marijuana has made it something to bring density to 3D, to drag people down. You know what I'm saying? How can you talk about, running out here with a Bob Marley shirt talking about one love and we're all one and all this and that? But in reality, we know society now is more narcissistic than ever. People are so into themselves and keeping the ego afloat. What is spiritual anymore? To the masses, you see what I'm saying? So let's stick with this marijuana thing. And I know this from personal experience. It's going to become increasingly difficult to positively affirm yourself when you're ignorant to the effects of what you're doing. So if every time you roll a blunt, you think you're bringing yourself power, you think you know what I'm saying, you think you're stabilizing yourself. What if the whole time you were actually destabilizing yourself and you were instead of becoming more in tune with the spirit world and, oh, I'm so fucked up and my eyes are so red and my car is reeking and bud. What if you were becoming more out of touch with your emotions? What if you were dulling your senses to the world? What if you were what if you were reversing what you thought your perception was? And people say, moderation is the best medicine. Well, change is supreme in the universe. And as spiritual beings, being melanated people, we are the best alchemists the planet has ever seen. musically, in the kitchen, um, dancing, all manners of expression, physical attributes, all of that is alchemy. So to positively affirm ourselves is basically to go in our own lab, which is our own destiny, and say that we're on the right track. But the more density you add to your life in the form of marijuana, in the form of prescription drugs, in the form of alcohol excessively, definitely in the form of any type of what my father used to say, mind-altering substance. You know, I laughed at him, but it really invades this ability to have a clear mind. So I know melanated dominant people, the government and the system at large preys on our emotions with every news story, every day throughout the nation. You know, they prey on them. So we have this tendency to medicate ourselves, which is so deep because I have to have empathy towards people trying to medicate themselves, but it's gotten out of hand because we no longer know what we're trying to restore, what we're trying to heal. We just say, man, life's fucked up. Finna get me a sack. Fuck it. Might as well get another sack. We're in this self-medicating yet self-defeating personality. So, with that being said, certain things that at once were gateways, that at once they were outlets, at once they told us that, you know what I'm saying, I'm good, those things have become the very barriers that we're trying to break. So positive affirmations can't reach their full potential unless we're willing to do some spiritual work within. And this isn't easy. It's a test of the body, the mind, and the willpower, you know. But your soul will start to knock on your body's door when you realize that you got to do this for yourself. Okay? And nobody can judge you for it because your soul is the energy inside of you trying to rise. And the affirmations are simply paving the way for that ascension. So I love y'all. We'll be coming back at you.